Hi, my name is Kaylee Tandy, and I'm going to be reflecting today on my portfolio, Area 2 ISTE Coaching Standards, and today I'm going to be specifically reflecting on Standard 5, Digital Citizenship. I have 3 artifacts that I will be reflecting on today, which is a web search poster, Digital Citizenship Agreement, and Copyright Top 10 List. For Course 868, Educational Technology Applications, we were to research and become familiar with copyright and fair use procedures and regulations in relationship to classroom instruction, student use, and resources. For this particular assignment, we were to review a variety of resources and, using the information gleaned from the resources, create a top 10 list of things that students might not know about copyright and fair use. For Course 735, Information Retrieval and Transfer, we had the objective to explore a plethora of resources and consider the following questions. What does it mean to be a global digital citizen? What are the roles and responsibilities of a global digital citizen? How do the internet and the rise of social media connect us in ways we could not have previously imagined? How do the roles and responsibilities of being a global digital citizen affect our decisions locally, nationally, and internationally? And what would our own personal digital citizenship contract look like? After exploring and considering the questions, we were to create our own digital citizenship agreement for our students. The original agreement needed to include our school name and mascot, a place for students to sign, and it couldn't be longer than 1 page. For part 2 of this assignment, we were to defend our choice of statements within our digital citizenship agreement by answering why we chose the statements, why they are important, and how our agreement promotes responsible use of information at a global level. Also in Course 735, Information Retrieval and Transfer, we were to create a job aid or tutorial of tips to help both faculty and students be better searchers on the internet. The artifact needed to include Boolean and search math strategies, truncation, and search strings, along with at least 3 search engines. It was to be eye-appealing, easy to use, and original. It could be a flyer, a poster, a website, a comic strip, or anything else that would be an effective and engaging way to present the information. So after reflecting on these artifacts, I feel that they meet its ISTE Coaching Standard 5, Digital Citizenship. Technology coaches model and promote digital citizenship. The Copyright Top 10 List and Digital Citizenship Agreement specifically meet Indicator B. Technology coaches model and facilitate safe, healthy, legal, and ethical uses of digital information and technology. And the web search poster meets Indicator A, model and promote strategies for achieving equitable access to digital tools and resources and technology-related best practices for all students and teachers. It is vital that as a technology leader, I need to become familiar with copyright and fair use procedures. This assignment allowed me to explore copyright and fair use regulations in relationship to classroom instruction, student use, and resources. During this assignment, I decided to create a poster to use in my classroom that would supplement my personal research unit in my 4th grade classroom. As research is a critical part of the standards that I teach, I began by scanning resources for information that would be appropriate for 4th graders to know, and then I created a top 10 list of key concepts. When creating this artifact, I made sure to put the list in kid-friendly language, as this was a resource for them to use, not for me. When developing the web search poster, I took on the role of a technology integration specialist, which requires me to be a leader in information literacy instruction. So, therefore, it is vital to become fluent in information searching processes, as well as relay information to teachers and students. Teachers and students deserve equitable access when exploring the internet, and being fluent in web searching will allow access to be more achievable. When creating the digital citizenship contract, I not only had to consider what elements were most important to include in the contract, but why I chose them. This caused me to think deeper about my reasoning for including each statement. My rationale is that students have the right to privacy and safety while at school. And since the internet is an open door to where anybody and everybody can access anyone's information if you allow them to, or in some cases don't allow them to, students should practice internet safety by keeping their personal information private. In some cases, we may collaborate with other students digitally where the students will need to give information that might include names, pictures, or various other personal information, in which case students will be given permission to release this information on a case-by-case basis. Teaching students what is considered personal information and why it's important not to share this information will help them with a life skill that is very important in today's digital world, as internet safety is vital. With the internet being such a wide open door to interact with others both locally and internationally, students should be aware of who they are friending while on social media websites. This is also a life skill that students should be aware of. They need to be aware of the risks involved in friending someone that is not a true acquaintance. The possibility for someone to steal information from you is high if you give them access to information that is not needed. This access could be granted by accepting a simple friend request. Internet safety should be a number one priority for all students. Students should also be aware that there's a plethora of information on the internet, and not all of it is appropriate or useful. It is far too easy to access information that is not appropriate for children to access. Students should be knowledgeable in how to access information that is appropriate for them to use and how to steer clear from inappropriate sites. Students should also feel comfortable and confident in confiding in an adult if they ever feel uncomfortable on the internet. So this could include a website that they are accessing or information that they've been asked to give. Students, teachers, and parents and guardians should have an open and honest relationship about online experiences. So being open and honest will teach students to take responsibility for their actions and help them know right from wrong. In the Webb City R7 School District, we use Google for most all basic communications, such as email, calendars, information sharing, etc. So students are given Google usernames and passwords that are personal to each student, yet they don't give away vital information when they enroll in the school district. So this username and password will follow them throughout their school years and is used to create a digital portfolio. The goal is for all usernames and passwords to be the students' Google names and passwords so that students do not become confused as to what their username or password is. The district can easily log into student accounts when needed, as well as be a safe display name. So just like students have the right to be safe while on the internet when it comes to personal information, students also have the right to be safe when it comes to themselves personally. Anything that distracts a student from their learning because of fear of safety breaks that student's right and is not appropriate. So students should be self-advocates and know when to get help when needed. They must be aware that it is not okay for someone to be hurtful to them, just the same as it is not okay for them to be hurtful towards others. They must also know basic life skills, such as what is right and wrong. When using digital tools, it is vital that a student is able to know right from wrong and be knowledgeable in what is considered appropriate and what is not. Being a global digital citizen requires such knowledge and ethics, as interactions from all cultures and diversities will be inevitable. As a global digital citizen, students must know right from wrong when it comes to respecting others' intellectual ideas, creativity, etc., property. Students must be knowledgeable in copyright and fair use laws and must be expected to follow those rules and laws. This should be ingrained in them from a very young age so that it comes naturally to them and they know what is ethically right and wrong. As the world is turning more and more global, the majority of information is accessed online. So students must know what information is true and correct and what information is false. They must know what to look for in order to classify information as true or false. This is a skill that all students should possess, as this is the, quote, new, unquote, way of information access. So now what? So by completing the Digital Citizenship Agreement and Top 10 list, it allowed me to really consider restrictions when students are using the internet and analyze why those restrictions are in place, which is really for the sole purpose of keeping students safe online. I foresee both the agreement that I created and the top 10 list changing as technology changes. As technology just changes so quickly. But now I have a solid foundation laid. Just like the agreement and top 10 list will change, search strategies will continue to change as well. Information access will always be a topic that will need revisions as it changes so frequently. One standard that I need to continue to show growth in during my first year of a technology integration specialist is modeling and promoting diversity, cultural understanding, and global awareness by using digital age communication and collaboration tools to interact locally and globally with students, peers, parents, and the larger community. It is becoming more common to communicate digitally, as well as more efficient and convenient. So this area will be very important to address during my future endeavors.